Hello everyone, welcome to another series of today's GK. Let's begin with previous day's practice question. Question was, recently the Tam Pa Link cave was seen in the news. It is located in which of the following countries? Vietnam, Indonesia, Laos or Malaysia? The correct answer is option C, Laos. Recently, in new research published in Nature Communications, more human remains have been found to be reported in Tam Pa Link and a more detailed and robust timeline for the site. This shows humans reached the region at least 68,000 years ago and possibly as long as 86,000 years ago. It is a sloping cave situated high in the Annamite mountain range in northern Laos. The stratigraphy of the site indicates formation by periodic slope wash deposition from the muddy slope at the entrance of the cave. Therefore, option C is the correct answer. Now let's begin today's session. First question is, consider the following statements regarding the Report Fish Disease app. 1. It is developed by ICAR, National Bureau of Fish Genetic Resources. 2. It is launched under National Scheme of Welfare of Fishermen. 3. It will integrate fish farmers, field level officers and fish health experts seamlessly. How many of the statements given above is or are correct? Only one, only two, all three or none? The correct answer is option B, only two. Recently, Government of India has launched an Android-based mobile app as Report Fish Disease, contributing to the vision of Digital India. The app has been developed by ICAR, National Bureau of Fish Genetic Resources, Lucknow. Hence, statement 1 is correct. It is launched under the National Surveillance Program for Aquatic Animal Diseases. Hence, statement 2 is not correct. Farmers using this app will be able to connect directly to district fisheries officers and scientists. It will be a central platform for connecting and will integrate fish farmers, field level officers and fish health experts seamlessly. Hence, statement 3 is correct. Therefore, option B is the correct answer. Next question is, recently the Statistics Day was celebrated on 29th June. What was its theme? Alignment of State Indicator Framework with National Indicator Framework for monitoring Sustainable Development Goals, Data for Sustainable Development, Quality Assurance in Official Statistics or Services Sector Statistics. The correct answer is option A, Alignment of State Indicator Framework with National Indicator Framework for monitoring Sustainable Development Goals. Recently, the Government of India has celebrated 29th June as Statistics Day in honor of Professor Prasant Chandra Mahalanobis. This day is celebrated annually to recognize his significant contribution in statistics and economic planning. The objective is to raise public awareness, particularly among the younger generation, about the importance of statistics in socio-economic planning and policy formulation. The theme for Statistics Day 2023 is Alignment of State Indicator Framework with National Indicator Framework for monitoring Sustainable Development Goals. This theme focuses on the synchronization of state-level indicators with the national framework to monitor the progress of Sustainable Development Goals. Therefore, option A is the correct answer. Next question is, consider the following statements regarding the Coalition for Disaster Resilient Infrastructure. 1. It was launched during the United Nations Climate Action Summit in 2019. 2. It represents the role of India as a global leader in climate change. Which of the statements mentioned above is or are correct? 1 only, 2 only, both 1 and 2, or neither 1 nor 2? The correct answer is option C, both 1 and 2. Recently, the Union Cabinet has given its approval for ratification of the Headquarters Agreement between Government of India and Coalition for Disaster Resilient Infrastructure, signed on 22nd August 2022. The CDRI was launched by Prime Minister of India during the United Nations Climate Action Summit on the 23rd September 2019 at New York. Hence, statement 1 is correct. It is a global partnership with the aim to ensure sustainable development. Its goal is to promote the resilience of infrastructure systems to climate and disaster risk. It includes national governments, UN agencies, multilateral development banks, and the private sector along with academic and knowledge institutions. It is seen as India's attempts to obtain a global leadership role in climate change and disaster resilience matters. Hence, statement 2 is correct. Therefore, option C is the correct answer. Next question is, recently a report on children and armed conflict was in news. It is released by which of the following? National Institute of Public Cooperation and Child Development, Niti Aayog, Ministry of Women and Child Development, or United Nations? The correct answer is option D, United Nations. Recently, for the first time since 2010, India has been removed from a United Nations report on children and armed conflict. India has not been named in the report alongside countries like Burkina Faso, Cameroon, Lake Chad Basin, Nigeria, Pakistan, and the Philippines after 12 years. India was removed due to measures taken by the government for the better protection of children. The report on children and armed conflict used to include India over the alleged recruitment and use of boys by armed groups in Jammu and Kashmir and their detention, killing, and maiming by security forces. India adopted a roadmap including establishment of child welfare committees, juvenile justice boards, child care homes, along with training of security forces and protection of children. Therefore, option D is the correct answer. Next question is, consider the following statements regarding the National Research Foundation. 1. It will be governed by a governing board consisting of eminent researchers and professionals only. 2. It aims to facilitate collaborations among industry, academia, government departments, and research institutions. 3. The Department of Science and Technology will be the administrative department of the NRF. How many of the statements given above is or are correct? Only one, only two, all three, or none? The correct answer is option B, only two. Recently, the Union Cabinet has approved the introduction of the National Research Foundation Bill 2023 in Parliament. The NRF will be established to promote research and development and foster a culture of innovation in universities, colleges, research institutions, and R&D laboratories across India. The NRF will be governed by a governing board consisting of eminent researchers and professionals, with the Prime Minister as the ex officio president and the Union Ministers of Science and Technology and Education as ex officio vice presidents. Hence, statement 1 is not correct. The NRF aims to facilitate collaborations among industry, academia, government departments, and research institutions and encourage increased spending by the industry on R&D. Hence, statement 2 is correct. The Department of Science and Technology will be the administrative department of the NRF, and its functioning will be overseen by an executive council chaired by the principal scientific advisor to the Government of India. Hence, statement 3 is correct. Therefore, option B is the correct answer. Next question is, consider the following statements regarding the Chandrayaan-3. 1. It will be launched by GSLV Mark 3. 2. Vikram and Pragyan are its lander and rover respectively. 3. US, China, and Japan have successfully achieved soft landing on moon till today. How many of the statements given above is or are correct? Only one, only two, all three, or none? The correct answer is option B, only two. Recently, the launch of Chandrayaan-3 has been scheduled for July 13 from the Satish Dhawan Space Center in Sriharikota. Chandrayaan-3 is a follow-on mission to Chandrayaan-2 with the objective to demonstrate safe landing and roving on the lunar surface. It consists of a lander and rover configuration named Vikram and Pragyan respectively. Hence, statement 1 is correct. It will utilize the launch vehicle Mark 3 for the launch. Hence, statement 2 is correct. If successful, Chandrayaan-3 will become India's first mission to soft land near the southern pole of the moon. It will also make India the fourth country in the world to achieve soft landing on the moon after the US, Russia, and China. Hence, statement 3 is not correct. Therefore, option B is the correct answer. Next question is, consider the following statements regarding the Panchayat Development Index. 1. It is a computation score based on local indicators. 2. It provides outcome-oriented developmental goals at Panchayat level. 3. It measures 9 themes of localization of sustainable development goals. How many of the statements given above is or are correct? Only one, only two, all three, or none? The correct answer is option C, all three. Recently, the Panchayat Development Index or PDI was released. The PDI computation and identification of data sources is done for the local indicator framework. Hence, statement 1 is correct. It will facilitate outcome-oriented development goals at the Panchayat level. Hence, statement 2 is correct. It will provide a composite score on the 9 themes of LSDGs and guide Panchayats in achieving SDGs at the local level. Hence, statement 3 is correct. It will serve as a baseline for panchayats to set local targets and action points for thematic Gram Panchayat development plans. Therefore, option C is the correct answer. Next question is, recently the Energy Transition Index was in news. It is released by which of the following? International Energy Agency, Ministry of Power, International Solar Alliance, or World Economic Forum? The correct answer is option D, World Economic Forum. Recently, the Energy Transition Index was released by the World Economic Forum. Sweden topped the list and was followed by Denmark, Norway, Finland, and Switzerland in the top 5 on the list of 120 countries. It ranked India at the 67th place globally. According to WEF, it is the only major economy with energy transition momentum accelerating across all dimensions. Besides India, Singapore is the only other major economy showing true momentum. Therefore, option D is the correct answer. Next question is, recently a scheme PM Pranam is approved by the central government. What is its full name? PM Program for Restoration, Awareness, Nourishment and Amelioration of Mother Earth, PM Program for Regeneration, Awareness, Nurturing and Advancement of Mother Earth, PM Program for Regeneration, Awareness, Nourishment and Augmentation of Mother Earth, or PM Project for Revitalization, Awareness, Nourishment and Advancement of Mother Earth. The correct answer is option A, PM Program for Restoration, Awareness, Nourishment and Amelioration of Mother Earth. Recently, the Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs has approved the PM Pranam scheme. PM Pranam stands for PM Program for Restoration, Awareness, Nourishment and Amelioration of Mother Earth. It was first announced in 2023-24 budget by the Union Government. It is aimed at incentivizing states to use alternative non-chemical fertilizers. It is also aimed at saving the soil and promote sustainable balanced use of fertilizers. Therefore, option A is the correct answer. Last question is, consider the following statements regarding the current account deficit. 1. It is a key indicator of country's internal sector. 2. Lower CAD requires more money to finance the gap. 3. Remittances contributes to broadens the CAD gap. How many of the statements given above is or are correct? Only 1, only 2, all 3 or none? The correct answer is option D, none. Recently, according to the data released by the RBI, CAD widened to 2% of GDP in 2023 as compared to 1.2% in 2022. When the value of the goods and services that a country imports exceeds the value of the products it exports, it is known as the current account deficit. It is a key indicator of a country's external sector. Hence, statement 1 is not correct. When the CAD is lower, less money is needed to finance the gap. It is also treated as a sign of the resilience of the economy. Hence, statement 2 is not correct. Remittances, which are the second largest major source of external financing after service export, also contributing to narrowing the CAD. Hence, statement 3 is not correct. Therefore, option D is the correct answer. Now it's time for the practice question. Euclid mission is in news recently. It is related to exploration of the origins of planetary cores, spectral and polarimetric measurements of Earth from the lunar orbit, to study the dark matter in universe, or soft landing on southern pole of moon. Send the answer of this question in the comment section. Stay tuned for the next episode. Thanks for watching.